We are ready to rock and roll. Another season of college football getting underway in West Lafayette. Returnable kick from the 10. Little crease opened up out to the 28-yard line. It brings out the Purdue offense for the first time. Mentioned Ryan Brown in our open. Went over to North Carolina for the spring. Came back to Purdue. Won this job. He was announced on August 22nd. But he's been taking starter reps for a couple of weeks prior to that.
It's a fairly fascinating situation that Ryan Brown's in because of the fact that he was gone throughout the spring, but then returns to a program he's familiar with, but a lot of the teammates he's really still just getting to know.
Fake the handoff to McAfee, go over the seam on the opening play. Some contact early and a flag on the opening play. We'll see if this is potentially a pass interference. It was Eric McLean on the coverage.
Certainly
prior
looked
to the
that
pass
way.
being thrown, holding defense number 20. 10-yard penalty includes an automatic first down.
They're playing a sophomore. They really like what they've seen from his ability in man coverage. Emerged late in 2024, and even though Mike Uremovich is a new head coach, his defensive coordinator, Jeff Knowles, has already been pre-existing.
They give it to McAfee out on the edge this time. He's getting up to the 50-yard line.
First down.
Take a look at our lineups. Kick things off again. A lot of new faces all around the course of these lineups. These were projected lineups heading in. Could very well change as we go. A lot of rotating in. Over the seam, and the pass is caught inside of the 20, dancing inside the 10. A little pirouette and into the end zone. Armand Branch. For their first touchdown of the season.
Off the ball fake in the backfield under a little duress, but Ryan Brown just flicks his wrist. Not able to step into this pass at all, but that showcases some of the confidence that he has as a playmaker in his own right and getting it into the open space to his new teammate, Armand Branch.
Porath, extra point is up. 7-0 Purdue. Branch doing a lot of that himself with his legs. Purdue on the board first. Football on the Big Ten Network is sponsored by Taco Bell and brought to you by Discover, the official credit card of the Big Ten Conference. 2 plays, 72 yards, an electric start to these fans are loving here at Ross-Ade. Now Seth Turner going to kick this one away. Eric Weatherly back to return for Ball State. Found a seam up to the 21-yard line. Good start to the Barry Odom era. All it took was 2 plays to put the first points on the board. Got a Purdue player down after that kickoff return. Kyle Kelly set to come out for Ball State. He was their QB in 2023. Last season played 6 different positions. Not a ton of QB, just 4 passes thrown. Goes back to quarterback this year. A really interesting story on the Ball State side of things. As we are gonna step aside, I'll be right back. As there's a Purdue player again down in the field being looked at. Purdue off to a 7-0 start in search of their first win since August 31st of last season against Indiana State on this field. Turning the page to the Barry Odom era and off to a 7-0 start from a great crowd today, 65,000 in attendance. And Kyle Kelly comes out to guide this Ball State offense for the first time. Down 7, they'll hand it off, and quickly the play made in the backfield. Quay Ashley was the back. Correa came up to make the tackle. Ryan Kerrigan being honored today, brought back this weekend. And you said, were many players that you enjoyed watching more than Kerrigan during his era?
Wore the Superman t-shirt under his pads back in the day because that's exactly what he embodied when he rushed the corner for this Boilermakers program.
Fake the run this time. Kelly's first pass in and out of the hands of his intended target. So we'll go down to Danny now, who's with Ryan Kerrigan.
Ryan, in your return back to Ross Ade, what sticks out to you the most?
I mean, there's been so much change. I mean, the south end zone looks great. The Tiller Tunnel looks great. And just the excitement around the program. It's great to be back.
You've gotten a chance to meet Barry Odom. Why should fans be excited about this new era of football at Purdue?
And he's really organized. The guy runs a really good practice. I got to see their walkthrough yesterday. He's really dialed in situationally, and he's a guy that's the right leader for this program.
I know you're a defensive guy, but how did the offense look on that first drive?
Hey, I mean, 40 seconds into the game, we got 7 points. I'd say the offense is doing all right so far.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
They're hoping to watch this defense force a 3 and out. Looks like that's what they're going to do. Nice play made out on the edge by Hadori Hines on Tyre Robinson. Hines at corner, one of the guys stepping up along with Tony Grimes. And he'll force the punt on Ball State's opening possession.
Things going exactly according to plan early here for Purdue. Explosive offense, 3 and out on defense, and there's a physicality that's being embodied by this team right now that's exactly what Barry Odom's been hoping for.
Michael Jackson III back to return this punt. Fair catch at the 29. Don't forget, if you're looking for the Maryland-Florida Atlantic game, go to big10.org/BTN Game Finder right now to see where you can find the game in your area. Anton, you woke up feeling fired up.
Oh, yeah.
Got to get multiple screens on today.
What everyone does at this point, right? The multi-screen experience, supporting their team, supporting other teams, the Big Ten Conference as a whole. First full Saturday in college football.
And Ohio State, Texas going on right now. Buckeyes, one of 3 Big Ten teams in the top 10. Have Oregon on our air later today. 7-0 start for Purdue. Ryan Brown back out there. Quick throw out of the edge. And this is caught by Branch. Branch had the 49-yard catch and run, if you tuned in late, to get the scoring started. Had at least 20, maybe 25 yards that with his own legs. Made about 3 or 4 guys miss. Will fake it, looking deep again. It's Branch again, one-on-one again, and it is caught again. It's the Branch show early, and this one might have been one-handed.
Definitely was, Jay. I mean, a gorgeous pass from Ryan Brown, but then the presence of mind from Branch, because he ran a beautiful route, left himself room along the sideline, and then the comfort and confidence to reel it in with his right hand.
Didn't see a ton of Branch last year. We did see a lot of Maccabee last year, lowering his shoulder, getting inside of the 10. So Purdue moving and grooving once again. Branch, by the way, 3 catches, 101 yards already. More than he had all of last season, by the way.
None prettier than that last one he reeled in on the fade route up the sideline. And Devin Maccabee just looking to the sideline. Everyone getting the play call.
He looked really comfortable early. Pretty good tempo, too. Play was blown dead before it started. There's a flag down on the near sideline.
All start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's our game referee, Jeff Cervinsky. We get Ethan Trent with false start. His first start, by the way. Sophomore, younger brother of Tyler Trent. Former walk-on. Worked his way into this position this day. Really excited to make his first start. We'll hand hand it off to Maccabee again, running behind the left side of that O-line. Jalen St. John, the left guard, guiding the way that time. One of the UNLV transfers that came over with Barry Odom.
When you think about it, Jason, even things as simple as the cadence and the way that the quarterback is calling the signals, first time they're all going through this together on game day. Overall, very efficient, like I was referencing as a key to the game for Purdue. But little things like just getting off on the ball a little too quickly can happen early in the season.
Quick throw, screen set up. There's an alleyway looking for the end zone. Cut down at the 5 was Corey Smith on his first grab of the afternoon.
Variety to the play calling here early in this game from Josh Henson, first-year offensive coordinator at Purdue. But you get some of the big bodies out in space. Braden Joyner making sure there's an alley to be able to advance the football after the reception.
And Josh Henson, the new OC, coming over from USC. Trojans ranked among the nation's best passing teams over his 3 seasons. And we're seeing Purdue already early on going to the air early and often. 3rd and goal set up here. Got 3 receivers to Brown's right. He's looking that way, now rolling that way. He can use his athleticism too. Gets in the end zone, tiptoeing inside the pylon. Back-to-back possession to the Purdue touchdown.
Really impressed with the composure that Ryan Brown is showing so far here. He's a guy with an emphatic energy. That's what we've seen from him in the past as a quarterback and a playmaker. He's got the game on a string right now through the first 2 offensive series.
This looks very comfortable. I was asking you before the game, how long would it take to get settled in? Well, first drive, 2 plays, 72 yards. Squeaky clean so far. That one was 6 plays, 71 yards, 2 minutes and 55 quick seconds. Right now, the first 1,000 fans will get $20 off a Big Ten Plus annual pass and get access to over 2,700 more events across the Big Ten this season. Just scan the QR code on the screen or go to BigTenPlus.com and make sure you enter 20 off when selecting an annual pass at checkout to take advantage of this really, really cool offer. A lot of events coming your way this season on Big Ten Plus. That's a neat deal to slice that price a little bit. Purdue not wasting time getting the party started in the Barry Odom era. 14-0. 2 quick 70-plus yard drives. And now a nice return out to the 31-yard line there. Quay Ashley. So this Ball State team also led by a first-year head coach in Mike Biramovich, a Purdue grad back at his alma mater. Told us before the game he's got to take a sec to soak this in, because not only is he a Purdue grad, his wife's a Purdue grad. She was in a sorority here. You see back the crush dance in 2000. And now, how about this? This is Coach's son, Michael, who's an incoming Purdue freshman. Just 2 weeks ago, Mike dropped Michael off here at his dorm.
How wild is that? He said he was just kind of looking around campus, reliving some of his old memories, and kind of an out-of-body experience for him.
Really neat to see. Out on the edge, nice play on the perimeter. This defense backing up what the offense is doing early on. Play made on the perimeter that time by Taj Rael. Really not afraid to throw his weight around. 6'2", 208, senior from Charlotte. There's a loss of 3.
But with Mike Biramovich, I mean, we've been referencing all the newness for Purdue's roster and a lot of the bodies that have come in there. Similar scenario for Ball State. First-year staff, especially on offense. A lot of players who transferred in from elsewhere.
Kelly standing tall in the pocket, tries to use his legs, but it gets closed up quickly. Again, Kelly was not a QB last year. Primarily was a receiver, halfback, you name it, he was doing it. Was a quarterback in 2023 as Jamarion Harkless made the tackle there. So he's kind of getting his rhythm back, at least game-wise, on a setting like this in front of this many people at quarterback.
It's difficult with the way that the Purdue defensive ends are getting up the field. It does contain the pocket, but Mike Biramovich, who's not only the head coach but the offensive play caller, I do think he needs to find a way to get Kyle Kelly on the move. Right now, the pocket is very stationary for the Cardinals.
We got a 4 receivers to work with here on 3rd and long. Kelly gonna step up, well covered downfield. Things break down around the pocket, and he goes down, which should bring up another Ball State punt.
Well, you can tell the Cardinals, they've been preaching to protect the football, don't take any chances early. I referenced one of their keys being to stay in the fight. Look, the coverage on the back end. An opportunity up the seam to maybe try to force one in there if you could layer a pass in, but he decided not to take that chance to Kobe Gross.
That was one of 82 new faces on this roster. Brown Ishmael, the transfer from Michigan, really talented defensive end, making the tackle. They're excited about him. Couple of punts for Ball State. Michael Jackson III will let that one take a Purdue bounce. Back up to the 37.
That one checked up in a somewhat dangerous manner. Nearly hit one of the Boilermakers as they were blocking and running out of bounds. Fortunate for Purdue, it didn't.
Let's go down to Danny.
Right guard Ethan Trent is making his first career start after earning a scholarship during spring ball, and he is the younger brother of the late Tyler Trent, a Purdue student and football superfan who captured the hearts of America as he battled osteosarcoma, a type of bone cancer, and eventually passed from it at the age of 20 in 2019. I spoke with Trent earlier before the game. He was pacing back and forth, rather, really all about business, and he's very excited for his first start today.
Such a cool story, Danny, and Tyler Trent's enduring legacy, living on just an epitomization of inspiration and never giving up. That's the new Tyler Trent student gate. So cool, and you can feel his heart still beating here at Ross-Ade. They go to Maccabee on the ground, gets straddled down by the legs. Ashton Winter came up to make the tackle.
And the Trent family, for how Tyler was able to just encapsulate this entire country that week when Purdue upset Ohio State under Jeff Brom's leadership, and the interviews that Tyler Trent did, everyone knowing that there was a mortality to his situation, and he showed such passion for this program. And now Ethan, following in his older brother's footsteps to a certain extent, but trying to forge his own path as well.
First kind of adversity Purdue has faced so far, a 3rd down. First time they had a 3rd and long scenario, and they'll be stopped about 5 yards short of the line to gain. So first time we'll see a Purdue punt after those first couple of possessions. 6 plays, 71 yards, 2 plays, 72 yards. You're going to have this happen eventually.
Eventually, yes. They were going to need to punt at some point this season. But I would say even that last completion, an example of composure from Ryan Brown.
Punt from McAllister. Back to return is Eric Weatherly. He has to dance around and then get dragged back inside of the 10. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 12 on forward progress. 14-zip start for Purdue here on a beautiful day in West Lafayette. Beautiful shot of Ross-Ade Stadium here. Sold out crowd, great day. Noon kickoff. 8 under 70 degrees and a 14-0 start for Purdue. They just did the Simba Cam as well, which always is a fun start. You got to do that in the first quarter.
I was surprised to hear you rooting for Scar the entire time. That was breaking news to me.
That's false news. We try to keep things factual on the air. I don't know if you know that or not.
That's news to me.
Well, the news about this Purdue defense, which also has a lot of new players just like the offense, is that they have been stout early along the line, and Kelly has been bottled up. Hines came up to make the play there.
And it's a short gain for the Ball State offense, but that does at least give the Purdue defensive front something else to think about. Getting Kyle Kelly on the move. Now, for Purdue, they have to make sure they're honoring the legs of the quarterback in a different way.
Short gain of 2, a Ball State team that went 3-9 last year. Kind of a deceptive 3-9, a lot of close games in the mix. They brought in Leffler here, QB, to hand off, Another big hit out on the edge. Pads are popping early on today. This Purdue defense not afraid to lower their shoulders. Miles Slusher came up to make the play that time. A guy who reunites with the staff from his Arkansas days.
There's some physicality being displayed up front. The Purdue D-line hitting some blocks. And even Miles Slusher coming in, using the blocker to make the tackle with the impact he had.
Still get credited for the tackle there?
You better. I'm not the official statistician, but he certainly gets credit from me.
Kyle Kelly back in at QB for Ball State. Cardinals 0 for 2 on third down, backed up against the student section as well here. Quick dart over the middle, caught by Eric Weatherly, their transfer from Bucknell. He's their speed and space guy, and he picks up just enough for a first down.
You're seeing a few different looks from Purdue with the way that they're feinting into the A and B gap, showing some pressure. It's a nice presence of mind from Kyle Kelly. Standing into the pocket, you've got to have some trust in your offensive line to stand in and deliver the ball like that when you're seeing that they're showing a six-man pressure look.
23rd straight game with a catch for Eric Weatherly dating back to his days with Bucknell. See if Kelly can feed off momentum there. He won't be able to. Initially brought down, then dragged down. Alex Sanford came up to make the tackle and finish things off.
Trey Smith rushing the left edge, just narrowly misses Kyle Kelly. Some good contact balance being shown from the Cardinals QB. Like you referenced, Jason, he moved around to a few different positions last season, looking like the talented ball carrier that he is.
That was their halfback at times last year, was a wide receiver as well.
Trey Smith's going to want that one back, though. You hate that as a defensive end when you've got the quarterback in your clutches and he gets away.
Sets up 2nd and 5, so far more manageable. Good block out on the edge. And another first down gain for this Ball State offense. Max Webster, one of their tight ends, gets involved for the first time.
So now the first opportunity this season for Purdue's defense to have to respond a bit because of the way that Ball State now starting to move the football against them. The drive starts to extend. This tests your conditioning a bit. But now we do know that Mike Shear, he plans to rotate a lot of bodies in, and that's important in the season opener, not only for right now, while we're still in quarter number 1, but as you get to the second half, you want fresh bodies.
The new Purdue defensive coordinator Mike Shear came over with Barry Odom from UNLV. UNLV program that went 11-3 last season. Go up the middle after a gain of 13. They go to TJ Horton at a running back. Pick up 4 after that game on the last play was their biggest of the game to this point. Correa makes the tackle.
CJ Nunnally on the inside there. Pad starting to get just a little bit high. See some different bodies rotating in. That's where the point of attack, last couple of plays, starting to move in the favor of Ball State.
Go to the ground once again with TJ Horton.
And we think about the newness in schematics and communication more from the offensive perspective, but this is the first time Purdue's defense is going through these things together on the field and with their new defensive coordinator, Mike Shear. So as he's making the calls here, you can just check as you're watching it. This first level, second level, the way hand signals are going, the way they've got to yell things back and forth as they audibilize.
Kelly, confident throw, but into the grass and incomplete. On 3rd and 6, we'll likely see the punt unit come out here. If it isn't, maybe decision time. Took a sec and went to the sideline, did Kelly.
They ended up running a twist stunt with the linebackers inside, so Manny Powell ends up taking the attention of the initial defensive front. That's where TJ Lindsey leaked through at the last moment to provide the pressure on Kelly.
It's Hines on the coverage, so Shear's defense stands tall. Here's Barry Odom, his head coaching debut for Purdue. Mike Shear played for him, by the way, at Missouri. Played for him, now coaching with him. Adam Saul punting. Fair catch made at the 9-yard line by Michael Jackson III with 47 seconds left in this opening quarter that came out with 2 quick touchdown drives for Purdue on their opening 2 drives, 71 yards and 72 yards respectively on each of those first 2 drives.
And it's funny, Jason, because it's week 1 for everyone. You could tell when Barry Odom was talking to Danny Rogers, pre-kick. He's all amped up. We've got a lot of chaos that happens in television, but down on the field, the players and coaches, we're at the point now where you start to settle in to the game. Not just the early explosives, but you get into coaching, fundamentals, you start to get taxed physically. This is where the game really begins.
First time Purdue's been backed up like this as well, inside of their own 10. Antonio Harris is in at running back. He'll get his first carry, gets dropped down from behind. Good tackle made by Micah Wing, their outside linebacker.
Really impressive pursuit from the backside. Hasn't played a lot of football, but an extremely athletic player as a junior for Ball State, coming out of the junior college ranks. Exceptional get off. The coaching staff really excited about his future.
He was on the Rutgers roster at one point before going the junior college route. Clock dwindling now. Catch up the backfield, some space here, and it is Harris again, outside and up to the 32-yard line. Chandler, Indiana native, with a gain of 23 there to wind down this first quarter clock.
Like those soft hands being shown by Harris there. I have to refer to him as Minnie Mockabee, a very similar path to becoming a Boilermaker. Former walk-on in his own right from small town Indiana.
Not a bad path to follow, not a bad start for Purdue. 14-zip after 1. New season, new team, new regime. Take a glimpse at the roster changes for Purdue. 82 new players, 54 of them in the portal, most in the FBS. It's the lowest amongst any Big Ten team in terms of returning offense and defense. So, and how long does this take to come together as Brown keeps it? He's a part of the new regime. Lofts it over top, had a potential target in George Burhan, went in and out of his hands. Those are some things you'll work out with timing, but there's also a couple of flags down.
Couple of things working against George Burhan there. Play was a little bit helter-skelter.
Yep.
But then the sun was in his eyes as well. I know that's a very common excuse, but the sun legitimately was in his eyes as he was trying to catch it.
Ineligible player downfield, offense number 79. That penalty is declined. It is second down.
Because as Burhan reached up, you know, the ball was in flight and he had to extend high to get it. And with the angle of where the sun's coming from right now, look at all the shadows of the players. The 11 bodies on Purdue's offense, the shadows are going in that direction. So that displays where the sun is coming from. When Burhan reaches up to grab it, he's got to reach up and look up into the sunlight. Made it tougher.
Brown has a completion this time to Michael Jackson III. It stops at USC and Georgia before coming over to Purdue. Gain of 7 that time. Sets up 3rd and short.
And as this new coaching staff has been figuring out a lot of these new bodies that they're getting accustomed to, whose strengths and weaknesses fit where within this Josh Henson offense, they've said Michael Jackson has been one of the more consistent playmakers for them.
They bring Jackson in motion right on cue, fake it to him, and the ball is taken right up the middle for a first down. Antonio Harris taking the snap that time.
I wonder what we'll term this as. If this is the, I don't know, the Pete package or something like that. I mean, everyone calls it the Wildcat when you do the direct snap to the running back. So I suppose that's the simple way to go about it. But an additional wrinkle in what Josh Henson brings to the table.
You call it the Pete package because of Purdue Pete?
Yeah, I feel like that makes sense.
Okay.
We'll test it a little bit.
Brown rolls out. He's been pretty active getting out of the pocket using his legs. Jackson uses his legs over on the sideline, dancing for another Purdue first down.
What's some of the bodies that are here at receiver. See how versatile the skill set is. Guys who can play slot, guys who can line up on the outside. The quickness in and out of the cuts of Michael Jackson, though.
Elite footwork on display. Brown to the air again. Caught once again for a first down. Looks like a gain of 11 over along the sideline.
Loads of off coverage being displayed by the Cardinals on defense right now. Just sort of a death by 1,000 cuts. It tests the consistency of the accuracy from the quarterback.
E.J. Horton on his first grab. Oh, another quick throw over the seam and incomplete. Looking for Jesse Watson, redshirt freshman, who they say is the most improved guy since spring practice. So we're seeing a versatile slew of wide receivers for Purdue to this point. We were wondering about that position. Who steps up? Multiple guys are stepping up to this point.
And part of the plan as a defense, when you're playing off coverage to the extent that Ball State is you'll just see how consistently can a quarterback read it and complete it.
2nd and 10. Tempo's been pretty quick. Lofty pass, but it was a beautiful one to drop right into the breadbasket of Michael Jackson III. Just floated it up like a rainbow, and it was perfection.
And Ryan Brown really liked that completion, the teardrop that he completed out into the flat. And he's on the move. I really like what I'm seeing early from this Purdue offense and from the way that Ryan Brown is executing it. And we've got to remember that he's only been here since the summer. He didn't take part in spring ball.
And off to Maccabee. Tough guy to bring down, gets to the 10. If you saw the little celly at the end of that too.
Oh, yeah.
Was that the gooseneck, like I'm dropping in a good jumper?
It was.
Floater. It was the 11th first down, by the way, on the gain of 18 prior to the Maccabee run for this Purdue offense.
There was some conjecture about Maccabee, whether or not, as so many players entered the transfer portal after Ryan Walters was relieved of his command, Maccabee decided to stay. He wanted to come back for another season, finish that mechanical engineering degree.
It's Brown and the keeper, little deceptiveness. Gets to the 5. He's already run it in with his legs once.
He had the lane. He tricked himself. He decided to try to bounce it outside instead of getting north and south. There was an opportunity here for Ryan Brown. Made the proper read, and he had his teammate out there in the flat. Christian Earls blocking for him. He decided to try to bounce it.
He's a gain of 6. We were told he's got a little swagger in his game. We're seeing that early on. 3rd and 1 from the 6-yard line.
Let's see if they lean on the interior of that offensive line in this pistol formation.
Yeah, you got Maccabee right behind him. They will give it to Maccabee this time, lunging ahead. See if he has enough.
Officials are ruling him short for right now, so the first big decision of the season for Barry Odom.
Brown liked the choice to keep the offense out there. Here's that peak formation you talked about. Maccabee going to take a direct snap, and Maccabee lunges ahead. Maccabee is into the end zone for another Purdue touchdown.
That's a statement decision and galvanizing execution by the offensive line. Braden Joyner leading the way into the end zone.
$233 total yards for Purdue. Still 10:21 to go in this opening half. First decision time type of moment for Barry Odom. They go for it on 4th down, and Devin Maccabee finds the end zone. 21-zip Boilermakers.
$21-0 at Ross-A. This offensive line going to work for Purdue. Little power action on the inside with the Pete package and the mock train putting in work.
Part of some good work on a 13-play, 91-yard, little over 5-minute drive. So Different than the first 2 drives that led to touchdowns that only took less than 2 minutes. That one, eat up some clock, a little variety. Now Seth Turner back out to kick this off. Quay Ashley awaiting it. Watches it sail over his head. Let's go to Ashley for an Anderson Windows studio update.
What up, Double A?
All right, gentlemen, Florida Atlantic at Maryland. Daniel Wingate had a pick that was called back for a pre-snap penalty early in the game, but it didn't take him long to get another chance. How about this one? A pick 6. He makes it count. It is 7-all at the end of the first. Jason.
Thanks, Ashley. (21-zip) here. Purdue up on Ball State. Barry Odom making his head coaching debut for the Boilermakers. And his team goes down in their first 2 drives, gets points. That forced 3 Ball State punts, over 200 yards of offense. Now defense comes back out. Kelly, mobile QB, slides down. They'll mark him where the slide began. Gotta be a little careful there.
And the interesting thing, Jason, a lot of coaches are now beginning to coach their quarterback to go ahead and slide head first, even though you're still susceptible to being hit by a defender. But when you slide feet first, as Kyle Kelly did there, you are leaving your head exposed. So not only are you sort of losing yardage, but your head is exposed. We've seen a lot of big impacts there.
Kelly played 6 different positions last year at some point or another in this Ball State offense. Only 4 passes all season, back to QB this year. So here's the legs on display once again on a designed run.
We're seeing the parry and thrust play out a little bit here between the Ball State offense and the Purdue defense, because there's been some good blend here early from Mike Shear. It's not chaotic where they're just blitzing the house every play. But we are now beginning to see Mike Uremovich getting his QB on the move, moving the pocket, allowing him to be a ball carrier. Now you have to defend all 11 players on the offense.
Just 1 of 4 on 3rd down to this point. Blitz comes up the middle. Kelly rolls out, went it back across his body dangerously. There was a flag down behind the play, kind of in that holding zone. Drew Wakely was the one diving to try to pick that pass off transfer from BYU.
It's number 56. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Called that one on Isaac Lucas, the backup center last season. It happens pretty frequently when a defender tries to spin away and the ball's working away from you. That's pretty frequently where the holding flag gets thrown. That was Braylon Charles trying to get away. You've got to know as an offensive lineman, as the ball's getting beyond you, not to continue to get those hands locked in.
Lucas is one of the guards for Ball State, and the guard positions were the question marks amongst that offensive line for the Cardinals entering today. Adam Saul back to punt. Michael Jackson coming up to return. This could be some good field position here for Purdue. Caught that in stride, but cut down quickly. Still some solid field position for the Boilermakers. When we come back, they'll line up at their own 35, up 21. Tomorrow, filled up with some volleyball. The opening Spike Classic continues at the Kohl Center in Madison with 2 marquee women's volleyball matchups. Yeah, Wisconsin taking on Texas, followed by Creighton against Kansas. Coverage beginning at 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Last September, Wisconsin and Texas met as top 3 ranked teams in the country. This year, ranked as top 10 opponents once again. You were walking around Madison the other day.
I was there.
Oh, some volleyball players.
Yeah.
They were taller than you.
There on Thursday at the season opener. Longhorn volleyball player there, statuesque.
Ball came out on that run. Goes out of bounds, so Purdue will keep the possession here. You were trying to convince the crew that I needed to stand up while you were sitting down in our open.
We consider various things under consideration for it. You never know what makes sense visually. Got the hat right on the football. Eric McLean popping it out from Maccabee. A
loss of 1. We thought whoever could maintain control would be key here. No turnovers yet. Maccabee up the middle this time. Just dragging tacklers with him. A bad snap here, too. Did a nice job with it.
Came back a little high and hot. Ryan Brown able to just calmly field it with the right hand. Get it into the belly of his back. The mock train.
Offensive coordinator Josh Henson raved about Brown's athleticism. He'll flush the pocket here. Looking back across his body. Dangerously towards the sideline. Incomplete. Pass was up near the sticks. Will Yates in the coverage. Yeah.
I mean, that was... I thought the ball was in jeopardy, and I suppose to some extent it was, but he threw it in a place where his playmaker was the main one with an opportunity at it.
You can very much see the play is nowhere near over when Brown's out of the pocket. He's got such good poise to stay in the pocket, but utilizes his legs to his advantage pretty well. This is a good punt. Wow. Inside of the 5 from McAllister. Really good punt. Ball State pinned back at their own 4 when we come back. Still ahead, spotlight shifts to the West Coast to 7th-ranked Oregon. USC and Washington all take the field for action only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. See Oregon first on that list, facing off against a Montana State program that's kind of a perennial contender on the FCS level. So that should be an interesting matchup later today.
Year 2 with the West Coast teams in the Big Ten Conference. Yep. It's just old hat at this point. You know, we're just all familiar with it. It feels normal.
Ball State trying to get free, get some breathing room. They do just that with Quay Ashley as tacklers around his ankles out to the 18-yard line, gain of 14.
They think of Ashley as their best all-purpose running back, and this was not a gaping hole initially, but that little jump cut allowed him the seam to be able to get north and south through and show some burst. Getting to the 3rd level really for the first time with this Cardinals rushing attack.
That was their longest play of the afternoon. Creeping up on final 6 minutes of this second quarter. Kelly, quick throw out of the backfield. That's what we expected to see today, and it's Ashley once again doing work after the catch. See where they mark forward progress after what appears to be gain of 4, gain of 5. Charles Correa coming up to make the tackle, one of the UNLV transfers. He and Manny Powell at the linebacker spot, 16 and 5 for Purdue. Could both play big roles. You highlighted them in the open.
And a lot of the communication, you had a good look at it pre-snap, where they were both gesticulating, pointing, moving teammates around. And there's some variety shown for Purdue's defense right now, where they're not coming every snap, but the D-line is consistently moving.
Quick pitch. Ball State likes to do this out of that formation. They came along the sideline. Wakely came over, lowered a shoulder, and Horton went flying into the Purdue bench. They will have enough for the first down, move the chains. Wakely, another transfer from BYU, another experienced guy, really good season on a really good BYU team a season ago.
And it seems that every time now Mike Yurimovich is seeing that audibilizing that happens at the 2nd and 3rd level for Purdue, Ball State is now working beyond it. They're getting lateral beyond some of the additional pressure. A lot of the checks right now are bringing heat from the 2nd level of Purdue's defense. And Ball State doing a more effective job getting outside the numbers.
Ashley was the deceptive player there, and it's the keeper from Kelly. He gets up to the 50-yard line. They'll have enough to move the chains once again, so gain of 12. First drive we've seen collective chunks being put together for Ball State.
And it's a small thing, Jason, but just for fans at home who think about when defenses are stemming some of the pre-snap movement and all the communication that happens, pretty frequently the defenders, they clap their hands. Historically, that's one of the things that's begun to get the attention of teammates. It's just a clapping motion that's being made right now by the linebackers for Purdue, but they're not actually clapping where you hear it audibly.
Once again, this time the biggest gaping hole today for Ball State offensively, and it's Quay Ashley again. Gets inside of the 30. You talked about earlier that conditioning aspect of things when you settle in. Well, now, inside of the final minutes of this opening half, and Ball State starting to back you up a bit.
And I do feel like the communication is beginning to struggle a little bit with Purdue. That's why I point out the clapping aspect of it, because it's happening late. And it's not like Ball State is running tempo right now, but there is a good amount of movement. You got to remember the various teammates who are just doing this together for the first time. A few of the UNLV teammates have been here, done this before, but a lot of the guys are still new to this system.
Kelly, another keeper. This time spins out of a couple of tackles, brought down. There were 0 plays, by the way, over 10+ yards before this drive for Ball State. They've got 4 on this current run.
They started so backed up, but that initial chunk run from Quay Ashley got the drive moving, and this offensive line for the Cardinals settling in, and they're using some of the movement of Purdue's defensive line against them.
In-state matchup, 82 miles separating these schools, but first matchup since 2010. It was a Purdue win. Boilermakers lead the all-time series 8-0. All 8 matchups prior today have occurred here at Ross-Ade Stadium. Kelly stepping up, gets out of the pocket. Correa came over to drag him down just inside of the 30 on that 2nd and 10 play.
They had an opportunity. Kyle Kelly wanted to fit it into the corner route to Keon Magwood, but because of the heat he was under, couldn't stand in the pocket and try to deliver the deep pass. But there was a shot there where he had just gotten behind Tony Grimes.
Right in front of that Purdue student section now on 3rd and 8.
Ross-Ade coming to life, one of the first times they've seen their defense under legitimate duress in striking distance.
Play clock was at 2. Kelly hit and drops in the backfield. Manny Powell, a transfer from UNLV. 59 tackles in Mike Scher's defense a season ago. Trying to carry that over into the Boilermaker uniform. Gets his first sack of the season here.
One thing you can count on when a Mariota defense is on the field. If there's duress from the opposing offense, if there is pressure being applied, they're going to bring the house. And they did it that time, led by Manny Powell. He's on the Buckets Award watch list for a reason. Huge play for the Boilers.
Don't forget, coming up, stick around. We got Rick, Jerry, Brock in the studio talking Oregon, USC, Washington, Ohio State, Texas, and other first half highlights on the Halftime Report, sponsored by TIAA.
I think we should institute a rule. Anyone on camera with Brock Vereen should grow their own mustache, because he just looks too good to shave it.
By the way, 4th down here, and Ball State going to go for it on 4th and 16. Kelly trying to keep it alive. Low throw, looked like he had some options available as the probe broke down, but things were opening up. So we were wondering maybe they got knocked out of field goal range there, or just go for trying to keep that possession alive and get 6.
Kyle Kelly had him. He knows he did too, as he extends the play laterally, does a nice job keeping his eyes down the field, floats it, but then the ball just kind of dies on him as it gets up into the 3rd level, as Kobe Gross was there.
Let's go to Danny.
No sign of starting center Braden Joyner down here on the sideline. However, right guard Ethan Trent was taking snaps at center with Ryan Brown here on the sideline, so expecting Trent to step into that starting center spot, and I'll try to get you more updates on Joyner.
Danny, looks like Hank Purvis sliding into the right guard spot and drops in the backfield. Quick sack right out of the gates there. First time that Brown goes down. Pressure up the middle coming from Nathan Voris. He gets the sack with just under 100 seconds to go in the half.
One of the first things you end up liking to do when you see a new center in the game, just like if there's a new quarterback, when you sense any weakness up the middle on the offense, you want to bring additional force into that area of their protection. That's precisely what the Cardinals did.
Purvis, who slides in at right guard, also came over from UNLV, one of 8 UNLV transfers with Barry Odom in his Purdue head coaching debut. Mockabee trying to pick his way through. Hole closed up again. And Ball State now starting to think perhaps, you know, still 1:09 left. You get a stop here. You got 2 timeouts left.
Especially because they've finally begun moving the ball a bit for the first time in this game. They're sensing there's some things they're finding with their offense. So perhaps if their offense was still sputtering, if they were being overwhelmed by the Purdue defense, they wouldn't think about taking these timeouts here. But you know, momentum, that very overused term, but certainly a more confident Ball State outfit right now, playing better football on each side.
The first couple of drives were electric for Purdue. Touchdowns, 3 of the first 4. First 2 were 70-plus yards in under 2 minutes. Then the third touchdown drive was a little over 5 minutes. Ate up some clock, did it in a different way. Great start for Ryan Brown at QB. If you tuned in late, he was named the starter on August 22nd. Has been taking starter reps for a couple of weeks, though. Trying to get on the same page with his receivers. He's gotten quite a few of them involved. They need a chunk through the air here on 3rd and 19. Pressure comes. Brown flushed. Mockabee made the first man miss. Got up to the 40-yard line, so got a good chunk of it back. But they're going to be about 3 yards short. And Ball State looks like they're going to take another timeout with 57 seconds left. Smart move from the Cardinals sideline.
Tough duty for Ethan Trent. He's been taking extra snaps at center in preparation for this possibility. Really nice move from Christian Zachary, beating him through the shoulder. That's where Ryan Brown had to extend the play. Gets it to Mockabee, who really got much closer to the first down sticks than he probably had any right to.
Yeah, they got 16, needed 19. Ball State hoping, of course, Purdue opts to punt here. Purdue has gone for it once on 4th and 1, a play that actually resulted in a touchdown, but that was way down inside of the Ball State 10. They're backed up this time on their half of the field. And it looks like the punting unit will come out with Jack McAllister, who had a heck of a punt last time he was out there. Pinned Ball State inside of their own 5.
Jack McAllister in punt formation for Purdue.
Eric Weatherly back to return this one. Another Purdue hop. Another, no, not quite inside the 5, but down inside the 10.
A very late arriving Eric Weatherly, by the way,
right,
onto the field. Like, are they going to return this? How many people are about to rush this punt?
Yeah.
Are they coming after it? And then just ever so calmly, Eric Weatherly just comes trotting off the sideline.
They're on all the strategical stops out there potentially in the opening half. 46 seconds left. Well, they did move it down the field last time they were pinned back like this, but a 51-yard punt. Not setting up an offense that I guess you could say isn't necessarily designed to be electric through the air quickly like that in 46 seconds in a very advantageous position.
I would anticipate they'll just hope to pop a run.
That's what they do here. Boy, Ashley on the carry.
In these scenarios, if you can get a good chunk run for the offense, then you can set up some aggression for the coaching staff. But if you're not in that position, there's no reason, especially with as well as Purdue's defensive front has been able to pressure Kyle Kelly, you don't really need to put your quarterback in jeopardy.
Quick flag here. See what our game referee, Jeff Cervinsky, has to say. Pretty clean game, not a lot of penalties.
For both the line judge and the head linesman, the flags came in from each opposing sideline.
False start. Offense number 73. Half the distance to the goal. It'll be 2nd down. Because the clock was running and the foul stopped the clock, there's a 10-second runoff. Ball State is not opting to take their timeout. Clock operator, please place the game clock at 11 seconds. It will start on the ready for play signal.
That probably works out just fine for Ball State. I think you have Cole Mosier in there at center. There was a little movement from the D-line, and then Cole Mosier wiggles a bit in his own right. And it wasn't big, but Moses is about 300 pounds. He's got big hips. It's hard to miss.
We'll take the runoff, and then the clock winds down in this first half. 21-0 start for Purdue in the start of the Barry Odom era. And Danny's down on the field with Coach.
Coach, quarterback Ryan Brown.
To get underway here, Seth Turner to kick off. Way Ashley will let that sail over his head. So it's the Purdue defense taking the field first. To Danny's point, Ryan Brown's legs are really impressive in that opening half. So excited to see him come back out again when the Purdue offense takes the field. But this defense faced a little adversity down the final 5 minutes or so of the opening half.
And I think that's in some ways a good thing, because Mike Shear doesn't want everything to be gravy throughout this game. Gives them elements they can coach off of, and continuing to get a sense for what their players can execute best.
Slightly bobbled snap from Kelly, then got it away. Short passing game has been the name of the game for the Ball State offense. Kobe Gross makes the catch that time. Manny Powell, who had a big sack in the opening half, makes the tackle.
And one early adjustment on the very first snap of this half seems to be C.J. Madden showing some patience, as he had a free corner to try and go get the quarterback. He didn't want to allow Kyle Kelly to get around the edge.
Kelly looking for the edge on this play, scoots out of bounds over by the Purdue sideline. Unique style that Ball State brings with a very unique quarterback. Third down coming up.
It's always the delicate balance as an edge defender. When you have a free shot at the quarterback, how aggressively do you want to react to that fake handoff on the interior?
Ball State went 1 of 6 on third down in the first half. They need a couple yards here. Looks like Kelly gets just enough. Needed 2, got 3. Purdue looking for their first win since August 31st of 2024. Got to go back to Indiana State. Last FBS win came against Indiana in 2023. So trying to turn the page to a new era here, a program just a few years removed from playing in the Big Ten championship game. Barry Odom did not back down from the word pressure to get the program back to where it needs to be. Quick screen pass out to the near side, and it is Magwood seeing the ball go in and out of his hands.
Part of the delicate balance for a defensive front is you have certain players. Like T.J. Lindsey has been best on the move in his young football career so far. But against an offense that's starting to roll off the ball at you, you've got to get to the point where you can hit blocks, hold the point of attack, and condense those run lanes.
Run lane closed up quickly there. Looks like Correa who finished off the tackle. Way Ashley the carry, gain of 2, brings up would be another third down situation.
And now at 3rd and 8, obviously advantage defense for the down and distance, where Ball State has been at their best when they've been at 3rd and medium, 3rd and short. The comfort that you can have in using the legs of Kyle Kelly.
Two of 7 on third down. Purdue brings the heat. Kelly slips away initially. Now uses his acceleration to pick up a first down. Got just enough, 9 yards, and that is the dynamic of Kyle Kelly. You got to get him with that first tackle, and it's hard to do.
And when they go man coverage on the back end, they bring additional heat. You have the backs of the defenders in your face as a quarterback, so that's where Kyle Kelly knows he's got a chance now to open up that run lane. He evades the initial oncoming blitzer. There's one thing that stopped him from maybe going the distance. That was Miles Slusher.
Kelly thought about transferring. Coach Juremovich visited him and his family in Tampa when he got the job, and they visited him to try to do this. The little trickery. Kept it alive after 2 men tried to bring him down, and somehow Kelly picks up another first down.
The good thing from Purdue's perspective, they're getting into the backfield. The bad thing is, if they were able to block this up from Ball State's perspective, there might have been a touchdown waiting. It's the Kyle Kelly show, using his legs, continuing to move the chains. Right now, the rush and the coverage not tied together very well for the Boilermakers.
Kelly's got 102 all-purpose yards. He only threw the ball 4 times last year when he did line up at quarterback, which was rare. He'll hand it off this time on the ground, and it's Quay Ashley. Gets spun down, but Ball State on the move, starting off this second half on the right foot.
When Purdue's been in man coverage on the back end, they've been able to lock down the receiver core for Ball State. But as the game's worn on, Kyle Kelly has gotten his legs going that much more. And that's the balance for the play caller, for Mike Shear as the defensive coordinator here. If you can lock up in man, it should shore you up against the run, but that's more the traditional run. The QB run is what's hurting the most.
Offensively for Ball State, Coach Juremovich calls the plays. He's doing a great job on this possession. Let's go down to Danny.
I am joined by a very special guest. It's not Mikey Jr., but it is Mike Juremovich, and this is Ball State head coach's son. Mike, you're a freshman here at Purdue. Are you a little divided on who to root for today?
Honestly, not really. I mean, it was kind of a no-brainer. I got to go with Ball State. That's my more immediate connection. I'm rooting for Purdue every other game of the year, though.
What was your reaction when you learned that, 1, your dad got the Ball State job, and 2, week 1, he was going to be coaching against his alma mater and now your current school?
I mean, obviously, I was really excited when he got the job. It's really cool going from Butler to Ball State. And this is kind of just like the cherry on top, you know? Like for him, getting to play at the school that he went to college, that's obviously really cool. It's cool for me, too. My first game at Purdue is seeing my dad coach against my team, so it's really fun. Go Birds. I'm obviously rooting for Ball State, but it's a really cool experience for sure.
Your dad said this place means a lot. He met your mom here. There's about 100, 125 family members and friends here. How exciting is this to celebrate your dad getting his first FBS job here at Purdue?
It's really cool. I mean, it couldn't have turned out better, I feel like. So I decided that I was going to Purdue about the same time that he got the job. So it all just worked out. It's a great experience. I wouldn't have it like any other way, I guess. Yeah.
Any pointers for Dad right now?
Sorry?
Any pointers for Dad right now?
Let's score some touchdowns, I guess. Yeah, that's it.
You need some. Thank you. An amazing story. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much.
Very cool. So that's Danny with Coach Juremovich's son, Michael, who's in his Ball State red today, but currently a Purdue student. Coach Juremovich dropped him off at school a couple of weeks ago. His team's going to be 3rd and 8 here if they want to try to score one of those touchdowns that Michael Jr. is hoping for. Timeout called by his dad over on the Ball State sideline.
Solid advice. Let's score some touchdowns.
Yep.
I mean, who can argue with that?
Got about 125 people here supporting Coach Juremovich in Ball State red, and they're hoping this drive results in 6. Let's go right back down to Danny.
A quick question for Ball State head coach's son, Mike Juremovich, who is a Purdue student right now. Your dad got emotional with us this past week when he was talking about his coaching career beginning here at Purdue. He moved you into classes a couple of weeks ago into your freshman dorm. Any emotions come from your dad during that moment?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. So being back here is obviously really emotional for him. Like, this is kind of where he got his start. You know, it's what kickstarted his coaching career. So me being back here is, I mean, I imagine pretty cool for him to see his son like kind of going through the same things as him, going through BGR and all that. Yeah, so it's a cool experience. Definitely some emotions attached. Yeah.
Love it. Appreciate you. Thank you.
It's a family affair, right? I mean, how awesome that has to be for the Juremovich family. I was actually, at one point, I was all-state with his brother in Illinois. They're both from Providence High School, Providence Catholic. We came out the same year. His younger brother, Matt, you remember this.
Small football world. Carson Homer from 45 yards trying to put Ball State on the board. And it is off the upright. No good. So promising Ball State drive that chewed up some clock out of the start of this third quarter. Doesn't result in any points. Purdue remains up 21-0. Welcome back. 21-0. Purdue leads it. 7:18 to go in this third quarter. Offense coming back out, led by Ryan Brown. Ball State staff, Ryan told Danny they really need to bottle up Brown's legs, but easier said than done. What he's done so far, not necessarily running with the ball himself, but just getting out of the pocket and extending plays.
You got your newly minted deltoid. Send you down there. Pads on Jason Ross.
I've been eating at Harry's with you. You know, you ordered the triple cheese. Told me to order the triple cheeseburger yesterday. Brown still time to throw. Can stand by that offensive line to help him out, keep things alive. Floated a pass that was caught by Michael Jackson.
So actually, I guess one factoid we left out of the conversation we had with Coach Yu this week. He recommended we go to Harry's and have some burgers. That's precisely what we did.
Gonna hand it off. Oh, what a job to slip through that initial tackle from Maccabee. Then kept things going. Like you said, Maccabee coming back for this year, mechanical engineering major. Said I have a 40-year plan, not a 4-year plan. So really wants to get his degree. Has been loving engineering, cars in general, ever since he was a young kid. Utilizes that engineering mindset when it comes to angles as a running back. Pressure from behind, quick pass. Good job to break up the tackle from Jackson, and a second tackle, and he sneaks inside of Ball State territory.
Barry Odom told Danny Rogers going into the half that they expected to have Braden Joyner back in the lineup at center. That is the case, and so far early in this initial offensive series of the third quarter for Purdue, it does look like pass protection more shored up, running lanes, getting back to what they were for the majority of the game.
Trent can slide over to right guard where he started the game. A little open throw, but in the turf and incomplete. Looking that time for Branch, who had a spectacular catch earlier in this game. Had 101 yards receiving in his first 3 catches. 49-yard catch and run as well.
One of the few errant passes so far from Ryan Brown in this game. It did just narrowly skip. And as well as Ahmad Branch has caught the ball so far this game, you're almost surprised he didn't even make that one.
Right. The one-hander set the bar pretty high. They looked one way, went the other to Maccabee. Maccabee's got space and speed inside of the 25.
Brown's pass complete to Maccabee. Good for Boilermakers. First down.
It's a really nice play call from Josh Henson because you get Devin Maccabee running right across the formation at the snap of the football. So he immediately outflanks the edge of the Cardinals defense. And that's an element of Maccabee's game that's improved every season of his college career, becoming a more dependable pass catcher out of the backfield.
Gain of 29 for Maccabee. They bring in Antonio Harris. Well-deserved breather for Maccabee here. They'll fake it to Harris. Brown keeps it. Getting outside of the pocket and inside of the 15 he goes. Maccabee, by the way, the only returner on this offense with 5 or more starts.
And I don't think we can really underscore enough how unique the situation that Ryan Brown's in, because he transferred away in the spring. And when Barry Odom first took the job, they did have a conversation. So when he returned for fall camp, there were other quarterbacks he competed with for this job.
Won the job, and there finds the back of the end zone. Michael Jackson, touchdown catch.
Most precision we've seen from Ryan Brown in his young career. An excellent route for Michael Jackson as he stacks the defender into the end zone. Not only on time, but on the money from his QB.
Extra point is good from Borath. Just 2 drives so far in this third quarter. It's the Purdue drive that goes 7 plays, 73 yards, 2 minutes, 38 seconds, puts 7 on the board. Next Saturday, got Big Ten tailgate starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific. And countdown to kickoff begins at 11:30 a.m., 8:30 a.m. Pacific. Right here on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Michael Jackson with that last touchdown catch. Been a slew of different targets today for Ryan Brown. Didn't really know who we were going to see step up at an unknown wide receiver spot. Denylon Morissette also out today, along with Chauncey Magwood, 2 guys who could be key players and definitely would be on the field today if they were suited up for Barry Odom's team, but they do expect to get those guys back at some point over the next few weeks. 37 plays, 319 yards for Purdue. So now the defense comes back out, trying to consolidate what the offense just did. New look defense for Purdue. 54 players out of the transfer portal on the team as a whole, most in the FBS. 82 new faces overall.
Yeah, kind of thought we might get that.
Well, you were looking for a motion that was not making clap sounds.
It's not an audible clap, but there's a new rule in college football this year.
Disconcerting signals. Defense number 16 was clapping. That's a 5-yard penalty. It's still first down.
So the difficulty here So you hear the audible clap from defenders at multiple levels of Purdue's defense. They've been doing it the entire game. The clap wasn't audible during the first half. The new rule in college football this season, the offense, because they use the clap as their cadence to snap the football from the shotgun, college football has decided defenders are no longer allowed to clap. Historically, we have been because we have to communicate as well.
Boy, Ashley gets brought down, and to continue that point, that is out of fairness to the offense, but you're a defensive guy.
It's out of deference, not fairness, deference to the offense. This offensive sport in an offensive league, I take offense to it as a defender, but
I didn't mean to start an anthem.
It is the rule,
today, but it's a rule. It's a rule.
It is the rule, but
Discernment.
I knew that was going to happen because they've been making the motion, a clapping motion with their hands throughout the game. It was not an audible clap, though, so it wasn't flagged until that moment.
I was going to give you a hug after the broadcast anyway, but now I feel like I really need to. Kelly trying to squeak out of a crevice of traffic on 2nd and short. Kennedy made the tackle, brings up what should be a 3rd and short situation here, creeping up on the final 3 minutes.
But that is one of those small nuances of new defense, new signals. You're trying to get everyone on the same page as the offense is lining up over the football. And my impression is they've likely been coached. Make sure you don't clap your hands, but we're into the 3rd quarter of a big football game. They're making the same signal, but now it became an audible clap and got flagged that time.
Purdue shows the pressure. They try to run it. Bouncing off of tackles is actually, it'll be interesting where they spot the forward progress here. He just kind of kept going. It looks like they're going to spot it after getting the first down.
It's either going to be a 4-yard loss or a 5-yard gain. I can't really tell which one it is.
Right now, it looks like enough to move the chains.
The decision of when forward progress ends up getting stopped. At what point the referee's discretion says that the play is over, even though the ball carrier isn't down on the ground yet.
Kelly feels the pressure, can't get out of it this time. This will go down as a sack. These linebackers for Purdue seem to really be in the mix consistently. Harkless on the interior in there as well.
And when Kyle Kelly sees more press coverage into the boundary, he's been able to recognize that's when some of the movement's been taking place up front for Purdue's D-line. So his eyes are dropping more quickly from the coverage, even though that's a one-on-one opportunity for him.
And called Jamarion Harkless chops, 6'4", 345. Filling up the interior of new defensive coordinator Mike Shear's defense. Under 2 minutes to play in the third. Fill it out and bottle up. Really good tackle made in space there.
It's fantastic effort. TJ Lindsey out of the stack, just running from the interior of the defensive line all the way over towards the sideline. Lindsey hustling, Harkless hustling. That's precisely the way that Barry Odom and Mike Shear want this coach. Look at all those big bodies working their way toward the sideline, pursuing the football. That's the hallmark of a Barry Odom defense. They've got to hunt together.
Brings up third down and 17 to go. Kelly dragged down once again. Under minutes to go in the third. Again, an offense not really designed for the deep yardage situations, and they'll force a punt.
And a game scenario for it as well, right? I mean, that's sort of a decision taking the big picture into account as they had a Purdue defender getting away from the face mask. Brandon Charles, it looked like, as he was reaching out for Kyle Kelly.
Michael Jackson back to return. By the way, little Michael Jackson dance in the end zone after that last touchdown. Michael's got some moves.
He's better, living up to that namesake.
There's a flag that went out before that punt. Then the punter was hit, and then more flags come out after contact with Saul. Saul, the transfer from Washington at punter. There's definitely contact made with him, and there was a flag before that as well.
There are 2 fouls on the plays, one against each team. They're going to offset, and we will play the down. Illegal formation, kicking team, 1 to 4 in the back, 5 in the backfield, running into the kicker, return team, goes offset, replay 4th down.
So after all that, we're going to punt it again. It's effective. I wonder if that would have been okay if he just came on the loudspeaker over the PA and said, "We're going to punt that one again, folks."
Economic.
Yeah.
Still 7 seconds left in this third quarter, so depending on the return, potentially the last play of the quarter.
Take out the neuralizer, flash everybody in Ross 8 Stadium, and just forget the punt that never existed before that.
Jackson comes up for this one, takes a bump. Pretty courageous return. All right, that was the punt that everyone saw.
Yeah, that we counted, as far as we can tell.
All 28 points have counted for Purdue today.
I see you.
That's moves from Michael Jackson. This is our Good Hands moment, sponsored by Allstate. Got to take you back to the first half. A one-handed snag here from Ahmad Branch.
That takes trust between a quarterback and his playmaking wideout. A fantastic route that gave his QB enough space to drop that teardrop into the bucket.
That's your Good Hands moment. You talk about the neuralizer from Men in Black wiping the memory of everyone. That's the one you want to keep having in your memory moving forward.
Yes.
If you're Branched, hard to replicate that. But one to the highlight reel early on for Ryan Brown. And this Purdue offense, they want the highlight reel again here. Down and incomplete. Looking for E.J. Horton.
So the reason you hear a few boo birds at Ross 8 Stadium, not because the pass came up a little bit short. They're kind of upset at the back judge, I think, because there might have been an opportunity for their receiver to just continue and break off the angle of that post route a little bit more to have a shot at making that play.
Bring Maccabee in motion. Empty backfield again, though. Quick throw. It was a nice throw. Zipped over the middle. Couple of nifty moves as well. Up to the 48-yard line. Nitro Tuggle makes the catch. A lot of ability. Young player out of Indiana. Georgia transfer. Brown pumps a couple of times. He got all day to throw. Into coverage and broken up. Feels like every ball, though, is accurate, no matter where it's going. You mentioned a play earlier over on the sideline. I think it was third down play. Looked like the ball was in jeopardy, but even if it was accurate.
Right. Ryan Brown's hunting for jugulars right now. I mean, he wants the deep play. He is looking for opportunities for his guys at receiver. And the receiver corps on the whole, a lot of players who've sort of had ability at previous stops or even here in West Lafayette that have never had that chance to be the dude or to be in an offense that has a volume of big play opportunities.
Another opportunity for Maccabee, lowering the shoulder just up near the line to gain. How exciting is it to be a player in an offense on game day, game number 1 of the regular season, and you have an opportunity to go out and grasp a role?
Well, everyone's been working towards this throughout the offseason together for so long. I mean, the proven commodity, the pre-existing playmaker is Devin Maccabee. Everyone else, frankly, including quarterback Ryan Brown, are really trying to prove what they're capable of in the gold and black.
Doing it on the stage of Barry Odom's debut as the head coach for Purdue. Went up 21-0 in the opening half, 28-zip now. And you're seeing what's going to be the consistency in this offense. It's Maccabee. Can surround that with a passing game that has shown multiple receivers stepping up today. The balance could be a real plus for Purdue. Trying to bounce back from the 1-win season, just a few years removed from playing in the Big Ten championship game. Entirely new roster, new regime. Pass caught by E.J. Horton, finding a tunnel. There's another target. And once again, you're without Denylon Morissette today and Chauncey Magwood, 2 wide receivers who could play a role as well this year.
And the system that Josh Henson has in place here, that was a great example of how the offensive line still shows that interior power. So you got pullers across the formation, but then Ryan Brown pulls it out of the belly of the back and fires the slant route.
Good protection again. It is he threw, nearly tipped off the hands of Tuggle.
We haven't seen him under duress that frequently during the game, but he certainly took a titanic hit right there. The pass rush has been lacking throughout the day from the Cardinals, but it always feels good when you get home. Lay heavy on that quarterback.
Brown had a great game against Illinois last year. Game he played the most in the Purdue uniform a season ago. Making the start today. He was named the starter on August 22nd. His athleticism has really stood out today, extending plays. Now his team creeping up on the red zone again.
But no one in the collective sort of Purdue press knew what to make of it at first because Ryan Brown transferred back in. But Malachi Singleton was here last spring, Bennett Meredith, Evans Chuba. They had guys who were getting the reps, learning this new offense, and then here comes Ryan Brown back from North Carolina, and he immediately ingratiated himself with this staff.
Oh, Maccabee made a great block. Led to a throw over the middle. Horton on the crossing route. But boy, when you get other guys stepping up and blocking, your running backs, your receivers, kind of lays the foundation as the coaching described. They want guys who can block, and look at Maccabee here.
And there's a trust that's associated with it because Ryan Brown, he's confident Devin Maccabee's going to step right up and chin check the oncoming rusher. It's one of the first things that stood out to Barry Odom, to his offensive coordinator, Josh Henson, that this guy, yes, he might be a future engineer, but you see that knowledge come out in learning the offense.
Just engineered another block there. Brown strung out on the edge, though, this time. I'll mark him at the 12-yard line. Purdue 3 of 3 in the red zone today.
I like one of the things that you guys are talking to Devin Mockney about. We had a chance with him the other day. The angles that factor into his ability to judge. You got an oncoming rusher, so you as a running back, you have to step out of the backfield and take your proper footwork, but then there's a reaction that happens. So it's almost like a mathematical equation. When you're going one direction, the rusher's coming from somewhere else, and you got to be able to redirect to make that block.
Pressure up the middle. The elusiveness from Brown. Keeping the play alive. Oh, to the end zone and incomplete. But he just kept it alive to a point where he actually threw a receiver open. Had intentions that time for Jesse Watson.
Speedy slot receiver. Another one of these players that can align in multiple spots, not as experienced as some of his older teammates. That's where Ryan Brown, extending that play, gave his guy a chance in the back of the end zone, just through the hands of Watson.
Pressure picked up again. Oh, little shimmy shake there from Brown. Then goes down at the 10. Caden Johnson makes the tackle. Now looks like special teams unit will come on. Spencer Porath to attempt the field goal here.
It's the better part of valor right there for Ryan Brown. Don't put the ball in harm's way. Missed opportunity on the previous play. No need to make a bad play worse.
And Josh Henson talked about sometimes you just take 2nd and 10. Sometimes in this case you just take the field goal. And that's okay. Composure on display from Ryan Brown throughout this afternoon in West Lafayette. Couldn't have drawn up a better day here in West Lafayette for this season opener. Purdue up 31-0 against in-state opponent Ball State. 9:59 to go in the 4th quarter. Jason Ross Jr., Anthony Herron, Danny Rogers has been with us down at the sidelines. Our outstanding crew behind the scenes. Everyone in Chicago just getting this party started on Saturday of week 1. And games still to come out west later on Big Ten Network.
Things largely going according to plan, I would say, for the Boilermakers.
Day number 1 of the Barry Odom era. Game day number 1, I should say, for the new Purdue head coach. We're going to be right back. Purdue's defense coming up next. We're still coming up. Spotlight shifts out west. 7th ranked Oregon on display. USC and Washington as well. All take the field for action only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Taking you deep into the night. 11 p.m. Eastern time start for that Washington game. You the up, man? Get the coffee up.
Yeah. I think I can stay alert and awake. Check that one out.
Kelly steps up. Lost that into the grass. Let's go to Ashley in Chicago for an Anderson Window Studio update.
All right, Jason, points at a premium in Columbus. The Buckeyes defense not giving Arch Manning an inch. Literally, the 4th and 1 goal line stand. Buckeyes up 7-0 in the 3rd. Jason, back to you.
All right, getting tight there. 7-0 in the 3rd.
Young quarterbacks in Columbus. Inexperienced quarterbacks out here. One of those things about week 1, man, a lot of folks have to get things figured out, get into a rhythm. The defense normally ahead of the offense early in the season.
Reigning champs, 2 playoff contenders going head-to-head there. Here's Kelly looking for a block on the outside. Purdue has secured the edge pretty well, so bring up a 3rd and short situation.
Getting a sense for sort of the 3rd down preferences of Mike Shear and this Purdue defense. There's been a lot of movement. The linebackers with some stem and disguise.
And looks like they may have come up with the third and short stop. They did, at least yard and a half short. That pursuit to the football has been really promising for Purdue today.
It was a really unselfish effort by Manny Powell, the way he fit that block, the oncoming lead blocker. So he hammers that back in with his shoulder, and then his teammate Charles Correa able to come in and clean things up.
He and Correa both from UNLV, so you see their communication because they knew this defense with defensive coordinator Mike Shear, who also came from UNLV with Barry Odom. All one collective minds. They've been able to teach everyone else, and now on 4th and 2, Ball State going for it. Looking to run it, found a crease in a crevice. It's a big play down the sideline and to the 30-yard line goes Elijah Jackson, the former Purdue running back, who actually had a 69-yard touchdown run himself on opening day last season, but in the Purdue uniform.
Looked really similar to the other opportunity he had to run up these Ross-Ade Stadium sidelines. Wasn't able to lengthen the stride quite enough as Crew Wakely had the angle on him. It's a touchdown-saving tackle, Jay.
Yeah, 37 yards that time. Longest play of the day for Ball State. A 69-yard run was against Indiana State last season, which was the last time Purdue won a game. Flip it out here, back to Jackson again. And hit behind the line of scrimmage. Got a flag down before the Taj Rael tackle.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 21. 15-yard penalty is enforced from the previous spot. Includes an automatic first down.
And so you certainly don't want to have that be the finish of the play from Taj Rael. He comes in, and that pursuit has been there throughout the entire game from all these different Purdue defenders. That's one of those things where your body just gets a little bit out of control and he's reaching in high, grabs the face mask. But I've been really impressed with the pursuit overall from all these defenders in black jerseys.
Kelly steps up, pocket collapses right on top of him. It's like Braylon Charles on the interior. 4.5 sacks last season.
The way they've been able to press the pocket over and over again to condense the rush lanes. Early on, the defensive ends were getting really far up the field so that Kyle Kelly wouldn't have lateral escape lanes. Now you're seeing them press the pocket back using the bodies of the offensive blockers to start to decrease those run lanes for the quarterback.
First trip into the red zone all day for Ball State. They knocked on the door a couple of times. Design keeper for Kelly. Braylon Charles again making the tackle that time, brings up 3rd down.
And one of the things that Barry Odom, that he credits one of his mentors, really his main mentor in football was Gary Pinkel, who he worked for back in Toledo and Missouri. And Gary Pinkel used to always tell his players that you have to be able to have 6 seconds of all-out effort every single play. If you can do that, you've got a great chance to outwork your opponents. That's the same principle that Barry Odom coaches by now.
Pressure comes, quick throw, Ty Robinson on the catch, but brought down short. You wonder at this point if Ball State just goes for it here, or if they bring out the special teams unit. Looks like they're going to try to get some points on the board.
And those 6-second bursts, those intervals, snap by snap, it certainly breaks it down just in the mind to make it sound simple. You know what? I can go hard for 6 seconds. Now, you're going hard 6 seconds, 40 plays, 50 plays, 60 plays. Your body can't start to shut down at a certain point.
Oscillating in short bursts. 29-yard field goal attempt from Carson Holmer. And the potential shutout bid continues because that's the second time Ball State has missed a field goal attempt. 31-0. Purdue fans hoping for a resounding start, possibly a shutout start to the Barry Odom era. The final drive will recap the entire day around the conference. That's tonight after football, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Got to stay up late. Washington will be the last game tonight. USC and Oregon before that. So Purdue comes out here with Malachi Singleton at QB, and he completes his first pass. Corey Smith on the receiving end.
So Singleton was a player you referenced. He transfers in from Arkansas. He was a part of this QB battle during the preseason. Had an opportunity back in spring football where he at the time was presumed to be the quarterback that would win the starting job.
Very much in that mix, and now the handoff here to Antonio Harris.
With the way we've seen Ryan Brown executing the offense today, some of those multi-dimensional skills, Malachi Singleton is capable of some of those same things. He's mobile. He's had some game action.
Saw last season at Arkansas, those numbers. Saw Barry get pretty fired up after the missed field goal from Ball State. He is able to put his emotions on his shoulders. This time, he was maybe a little nervous going into riding a bull at UNLV, raising money here. They said, hey, can you get on this bull? And we were learning all about it. Like, you had to sign a 98-page waiver. He's like, all right, I'll do it. A lot of potential, injury, potential, death on every page of the waiver. He's like, yeah, let's just do it anyway. Another pass incomplete that time. We were learning about the terminology of the bull riding, and they told him, like, when you get bucked off, like he did there, and you get up and you're a little dazed, you just try to find the door that's nearest to you. It's like, no, just find the door. It's like, it's a little harder than it looks when you are literally dazed after getting knocked off a bull.
I would have had to put Coach Odom in the protocol after that one. Because, I mean, and the bull's name was Widowmaker. If you listen to the audio over the loudspeaker, it's pronounced Widowmaker because, you're at a rodeo. But, man, did he get bucked off hard.
He said it felt like playing 80 snaps at middle linebacker against the 94 Huskers. They had practiced the next day as a flag comes out. That's when they found out it was Widowmaker.
Could you ever try that, Danny?
Running into the kicker.
I could not. In the entire time.
That's a 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
And I could not ride a bull. But here's the thing. I thought it was a mechanical bull that Coach Odom was talking about until 90 seconds in and then realized it was real. It's a no for me.
Probably the most terrifying 3 seconds of his life, right? I mean, we were talking about Gary Pinkel teaching him that you play defense in 6-second bursts over and over again. He got about 3.5 seconds in on that bull.
So when the offer was initially laid out to him, they said, we've got a retired bull you can hop on. So
Right.
it's a little less intimidating, I guess, than the average bull. That bull, unfortunately, passes away. So he's like, okay, I may not have to do this. It was a little scary in the first place. They said, no, we got a training bull for you now. Whatever the difference is there.
Yeah, right.
And that was the training bull that got him off. So
Now, Barry Odom's
a bull beyond training.
Barry Odom's from Oklahoma. So,
Right, he knows all about it.
I was curious if he had ever perhaps ridden a bull before, perhaps participated in a rodeo at some point. He said, no. I was too busy playing sports. He was a big-time running back, playing football. That was his first time and last time on a bull.
We're like, we got a backup bull for you to ride. Malachi Thomas in now at running back. Running this clock down towards a possible shutout to ring in the Barry Odom era. Again, went 11-3 with UNLV last year. That was a historic season in Vegas.
I mean,
won
Jason,
their bowl game.
It's a program that had never been in the top 25 of college football before. And in 2 seasons, Barry Odom led them to that at UNLV. It's a much more difficult reclamation project than what he inherits right now at Purdue.
So true. Singleton trying to keep it this time. That was the first 11-win season in 40 years at UNLV. Their first bowl win since 2000. Made it to the Mountain West Championship game. Lost to an eventual college football playoff team in Boise State.
Of course, Boise State led by Ashton Genty. And
Yep.
what that UNLV defense had been throughout the season. They gave the Broncos everything they could handle.
52-minute timeout. 31-0. We'll be back closing this one out here on Big Ten Network. Football on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Anderson Windows and Doors. Trust your home to Anderson. And by TIAA. Beautiful stroll on the campus of Purdue today. 31-0 and a beautiful start for Barry Odom and his squad. Looking at a 1-0 start, 2 minutes away from it. First of 3 straight at home to begin the season. Have Southern Illinois, Salukis, and then USC after that in their Big Ten opener. As that is caught along the near side as this wide variety of wide receivers continues to get involved. Jaleel Hall makes his first catch of the day. A player with a lot of potential, freshman from Pennsylvania.
So the reason they dropped back and pass on 4th down, now there's an opportunity for them to salt the game away. They maintain possession of the football, approaching the 1.5-minute mark.
Getting the carry is Singleton, who has taken over for Brown these last couple of possessions, showcasing his speed as well.
Good for Boilermakers. First down.
We have a Purdue player that went down there. We're going to step aside. 31 zip, 1:19 to go.
Rick Pizzo, Brock Vereen getting you ready for our Big Ten game break. Week 1 Saturday, just starting to warm up here inside the league.
It's a race to slow down, Rick, and I know that's an oxymoron, but the quicker you can settle in and get comfortable, the quicker you can start playing good football.
Speaking of settle in, getting comfortable, do exactly that. We have West Coast football coming your way this afternoon and evening here on the Big Ten Network as Oregon, USC, and Washington all still to be featured. We send you back to your game.
Welcome back to West Lafayette. So this is Jaleel Hall down on the fields. And card has been brought out. Just an unfortunate positioning of where he was. So you take a look at the replay. And Singleton inadvertently rolling up on the back of his leg.
One of the things that this coaching staff talks about is how selfless an act it is to be a wide receiver blocking out in the open field. When you stalk blocking the opponent, wideouts, of course, want to have opportunities at receptions to make catches, but it's an offense that values that willingness to put your body on the line for your teammates.
Jaleel, a true freshman. They told us before this game they feel like he has a lot of potential getting in on these last couple of series. Just made his first catch. Now his teammates coming out to give him some support on the cart. Ball State joining in as well. Just a great show of solidarity from both sides.
From Monsignor Bonner out of Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania, is one of the top players to come out of the state of Pennsylvania last year. Top 5 prospect in that state. Out of many playmakers that have been putting their work in.
You can see the emotion, sending our best wishes to Jaleel. He gets taken off the field here with under 2 minutes to go. Purdue offense will come back out, looking to wind down the rest of this clock. and potentially get a shutout win. Looks like they're just going to wind it down. And your impressions of this Purdue team today on both sides, biggest takeaways?
Well, one of the things that I listed as a key to the game was to show your culture. And I really think that showed up today. It's not easy to look as connected and efficient as Purdue did today.
This is the upcoming schedule, sponsored by Wendy's. As I mentioned there, that 3-game homestand to begin the season, Southern Illinois, and then USC in their Big Ten opener. Back-to-back ranked opponents, Notre Dame and Illinois after that. Right now, though, can celebrate win number 1 of the Barry Odom era. Getting things started off the right way in West Lafayette. 31-0 shutout win over Ball State. See Ryan Brown there, QB, who started this game and played the majority of it. Phenomenal day for him. We'll get back to work with Southern Illinois coming in here next week. It's their first shutout of an FBS team since 2021 at UConn. Let's go down to Danny.
Coach, before the game, you were feeling anxious, excited. Now with your first win under your belt as head coach of Purdue, how are you feeling?
Well, excited for